in my heart, being in love is sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to sacrifice anything for that person, you're not in love.
So you feel like you're willing to sacrifice for this person?
Yeah.
Like you say, I know you said a lot of times you had a hidden motive behind things. You don't feel like it's that?
No. With this person, it was no hidden motive. It was nothing. It was just like, I'm in love with this person. I did sacrifice a lot for them.
So what do you feel like it was about that person that made you willing to do that, but to make those sacrifices for them?
I don't know, because I don't know, and I never saw it coming. So
you never saw it coming. It just kind of was something that happened, and
yeah, just like happened.
When it happened, you were like, okay, I'm in this.
Yeah.
You feel like the feelings were mutual?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
For the most part. Okay. What you say for the most part? Do you feel like you love them more than they love you, or? I
feel like at times, at times, relationship people like, oh, they don't care, and then sometimes they do care, and I feel like you always catch somebody. I feel like somebody always cares more.
So, do you feel like your upbringing kind of, because you say you always feel like people have a hidden motive. Do you feel like, in a way, you're kind of projecting that into your relationship?
Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know.
Because you say you feel like at times they care. Why do you feel like
no, not at times. It's like you never know someone.
You never know.
And that's my big thing on everything. You never know someone. You never know their definition of love can be different from yours. Like me, like I said earlier, I love hard. When I do love, I love hard. And it takes me a while to even love. So if I love you, that means I love you. So I could be not loving hard. You probably could be loving me hard at the beginning. You might love fast and hard. And at that time, I wasn't loving you then. And then now when I'm loving you, ain't really loving me right now. Like, so he probably did. Like, I feel like, because actions speak louder than words. I feel like he's
shown you ways that.
Yeah, so.
So you said that in love you feel like you're in love when you are willing to make a sacrifice. What are some sacrifices you felt like you made?
No matter what. Their happiness matters. Like I was to the point that like seeing him happy, I just wanted to make him happy. Like,
so you were willing to sacrifice your happiness for his?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay. And do you care to expand on that? How do you feel like in ways that you sacrifice your happiness for his?
I feel like sometimes the outcome was good, sometimes it wasn't. And when I say that, it's because sometimes we can get caught up in trying to make somebody else happy and they're not trying to make us happy, or we get caught up trying to make them happy and then they don't even appreciate it, even know that, dang, I did this to make you happy, and they don't even appreciate it. I sacrificed my money for you.
Right.
I ain't had no money. I gave my money to you, trusting that, like, But that's kind of like, it's kind of like the same thing. It's just that, like, sometimes we get caught up in trying to please people and we forget to please ourselves. So that's where I'm at now in my life. Like,
so you say you felt like you sacrificed your happiness for theirs. What are some ways you felt like you put your happiness second?
I mean, I don't even know. It's just so thick out.
You just know the feeling.
Yeah, I just know, like, I've been, like, in a situation, like, you got to be on edge. You be like, like, I don't know. And then with this person, that's why I was saying that I knew I loved them because, like, I kind of, like, I'm an independent person. I kind of let them try to be the male role in the relationship instead of being the dominant one all the time. I kind of fell back, so it was kind of, I was doing something I wasn't used to.
So what do you feel like some things in relationships that you can change about yourself?
I feel like I'm too headstrong, I'm too independent, and that could be, sometimes that could be intimidating to a man, and you could be like, I'm like too independent.
You kind of like, fuck a nigga, I don't really
like, it's like if I ask you for something, first of all, that means I really need it. And then second, if I'm asking for something, it's gonna get done regardless without you, but I'm just wanting you to be the man to do it for me.
I get where you're going. So you feel like in a relationship, if a man isn't providing, do you feel like maybe he can't? Do you think that that's something like maybe he can't provide, or do you feel like it's a choice, like, oh, you just didn't want to?
You didn't. It could be too. But I feel like sometimes men will sit there and let you do everything, knowing they can help you. Some men, like, and don't get me wrong, this happened to me, and I know it happened to plenty of women out there. Like, they'll have it, but they know that you gonna handle it, so they still won't do it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. And there's some people that don't have it, and women baby them. But it's some men that have it, and they know that you gonna handle it, so they just gonna sit back and let you handle it.
Not even offer.
Yeah, not even offer. And I feel like with women, we be like, okay, we kind of over, because like I said, I've been like this before in previous relationships. Like, you kind of overlook it. Okay, he ain't got to do nothing. I got this, and that. And we kind of mess up because we tell our man everything. Not even like being sneaky, like we like sometimes we want to tell them like, oh babe, I did this today on my check this today, and then like, and some men so flaw in the back of their head, they like, oh shit, you need my help, I ain't gonna do something. Right. So we telling them everything, how much we got and everything. They ain't even telling us. Right. So sometimes privacy is key. Like, yeah. It ain't equal.
Okay. Yeah. I would disagree on that. I don't think privacy is key. I just think open communication on both ends, and I feel like an understanding on both ends. Yeah. It is best. And then, like you say, like, if somebody's like, okay, boom, you just let me just, like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, we straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's getting done. But at the same time, why aren't you offering that extended hand? Like, okay, baby, not this time, I got it. Like, some shit like that. And then you want to know something? Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, you have to know who you're dealing with, too. That's true. That's all it's about. That's all it's about, like, knowing who you're dealing with. Like, you said something earlier, you was like, some people love language is kind of different, and I feel like that's true. I feel like you kind of have to know, like you say, who you dealing with. So it's like, okay, I'm dealing with you this way, this, that, and third, but it's like, are you accepting the way they are, though?
Like I said, I'd have been in like a couple relationships, so sometimes I done cowered out, sometimes I done put my foot down. It's just that, like, it depends where you at in life. Sometimes you could be weak in a weak phase right now, and sometimes you could be in this like, oh, I ain't taking no shit today. I ain't doing that. Some days you wake up like that in a relationship, like, oh no, this is that. Some days like you like, I don't know. I've been on both sides.
Both sides of the spectrum. Right. So, do you feel like those relationships kind of changed how you are? Like you say, right now you're focusing on primarily your happiness. Yeah. So you feel like those relationships kind of led you to this point where it's like, okay, I need to be realizing myself. Like, I need to be focusing.
Yeah. I lost myself in, like, I've lost myself in relationships. I've lost a lot, like, myself completely.
But you found it. And
yeah, I'm still finding myself. Like, I'm at a stage, whatever, that I'm still finding myself. You lose yourself because everybody, like, even in a relationships, like, you, like I said, you can, to me, the relationships hurt the most that you love when you love the most. When you love the hardest. And like I said, I'm speaking for experience. Like, you could, like I told you, I've been in love once. Like, I've loved before, but I feel like I actually, like, sacrificed once. And that was hard. Like, that was like a hard relation. Like, that was a hard part. Like, it was kind of hard, like, doing that, because sometimes it felt like, damn, bitch, I ain't never, like, bowed down to nobody, and kind of the relationship probably was doing better than that relationship was at the time. And it was like, you get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it.
You reflect, like, damn, I could have done some things differently, or you just like, fuck it?
I felt like I needed that. I needed to, because when you, karma's a motherfucker. So you be like, oh shit, you been dogging all these people out the whole time. You been using him for his money, this is that. You been cheating on him the whole time. So then when it happened to you, you be like, I'm a big girl, so I be like, shit, I can't, like, I'm the type of person, I try to say, I be like, I can't even be mad. Shit, remember when you was doing so and so like that? That's just how I am. That's just how I look at everything. I look at everything as everything. You always catch me saying that everything happened for a reason. I'ma cry, I'ma talk about it, I'ma call my sister, vent about it, then I probably ain't gonna talk about it no more. Like, cause it happened for a reason. You gotta think, like, life is a revolving door. You gotta think, like, you was just doing so-and-so like this. Now it's happening to you. That's why, like, now I watch how I treat people. That's why I limit the people I deal with.
So you feel like now, looking back on past things, you feel like now that has shaped you on how you are now, especially with finding yourself. You're learning how to manage and deal with things in different lights. Do you feel like in the past you've dealt with some things in ways that you shouldn't have?
Yeah, I'm a like an aggressive person. My first resort is violence.
You always choose violence, huh?
It's like you like I just be like, my first thing is like, you size my gangster. So it's like
what?
I always say like, oh no, you ain't gonna disrespect me. Like I always had this thing like, you sizing my gangster, like on some real gangster shit, you got me fucked up. Like I've always been like that. I don't know why. I just always been like that.